Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Greg. Welcome to the channel. Today is Martin Luther King Day, 2019. I forget the date already, but yesterday was the full moon eclipse, and the moon was in Cancer. Rahu came and swallowed up the moon, and now it just went down through his throat because Rahu is nothing but a head, the serpent of a head. So when he swallows the moon, the next day it comes right back out. So it'll be out tonight. But hopefully, you guys did some kind of meditations, qigong ritual last night because it was really a powerful night to do stuff. I mean, I've done things before on full moons and eclipses, but I've never felt it so much as this time. But I think it's because of I've been doing it a while, and then it's because I've been progressing on my evolution as a soul. So you could say like my body's getting more sensitive to the energy, the real energy of the universe. And man, it was really deep last night. It was really easy to go really deep inside of my consciousness and search for emotional blockages, emotional feelings that I just want to get rid of. It was really easy to look inside and find those things. Yeah, like I said, I noticed a lot of anger in there, and just going really deep into meditation was really, really a good experience. Went really deep into consciousness, and doing qigong too. I was facing the northwest, like the Thunder Wizard was suggesting, which is the home of the ascended masters, and it's the home of the moon too. Moon was in Cancer last night too, in its own home, so that even made it even more powerful. And Rahu just magnifies it. So it was a good time to really look inside. So I hope everybody took advantage of that. If not, you can always do the night before any full moon. You can do your mantras, meditations, qigong, any type of spiritual stuff. Just taking time for yourself. Even just facing the northwest, like the Thunder Wizard suggests. Even if you don't do like a ritual, just facing that direction and asking for advice, you can get some intuitive feelings about what's going on in your life and how to progress on your path. And yeah, sometimes it's not things you want to hear. Sometimes it's hard to really go through with the things, but in the long run, once you do it, you feel better, you know. And it's kind of like if I sit around too much watching TV, I'll start getting into the couch potato syndrome, where you just don't want to get up. Your energy just starts slowing down, and you're feeling all comfortable and relaxed, and all the muscles are just soft, and you're just chill. Don't feel like doing anything, and you can get into this really hypnotic type of a state watching television. Just puts you in a when you stay there for too long, or at least for me, when I stay there for too long, I could get into a state where I feel too hypnotized by things, especially like watching shows. Well, almost all shows are pretty much all about just problems, relationship problems and criminal stuff, and it's always just dysfunctional stuff going on television. And it's entertaining though too. Just for me, indulging in it too much can just make me super lazy, and it gets me into that cynical state of mind where I just don't feel like doing anything, if I sit there for too long. So that was something that came up with me last night. I know I can't sit around watching TV too much. The real hard thing to do is just taking that first step of getting up and starting to do something, because now my energy's slowed down so much that getting it going again, getting those creative juices flowing again, takes that much longer, and I just don't want to do it. But once I get into it and start doing it, which for me is like working on music, creating music, or expanding my education on Vedic astrology or the Thunder Wizard's teachings, stuff like that. If I don't start doing that stuff on a daily basis, I get into this real disharmonious type of a state of mind. But yeah, just taking that first step, it's just going to take a while to get back into the flow of creative energy once you start doing it. That's the first. It's that cliche of the first step's always the hardest. It's true though. It's even the same thing with cleaning the house. Sometimes you just get too lazy, don't feel like doing anything around here, and next thing you know, it looks all cluttered. So, but once I start doing it and getting into it, it feels really good. Especially once you finish and then have a seat and look around, it's like, wow, I feel a whole lot better. It's like you cleared out negativity, stagnant energy. Kind of reminds me of that feng shui stuff, where energy just flows into the home a lot more better. It's like when you wash your car, when your car is really dirty, even that just the outside. If you wash your car, right when you get into your car after you've washed it, it suddenly feels like it's just driving a lot smoother. It's a trippy feeling. It's like the car feels good all of a sudden, or you just feel a fresh energy, or something goes on. It just feels like it's just it drives better, it handles better, everything's better. It's a trip. But yeah, it was a really good night last night, and today is Martin Luther King Day. It's really a trip that after all this time, how long has it been? More than 100 years. Still this racism stuff is still going on strongly, and equality. Not only in America but everywhere. There's still this stuff going on. It's a trip. Once you overcome that stuff and you look at people who are like that, you can't. It's just strange that there's still people like that. Then I look back in my life and I think, well, I was raised in a neighborhood with a bunch of racist people. My first impressions of the world were from that foundation. So I do understand it though too. But once you start becoming an adult, it's time to really develop your own mind and develop your own way of thinking and really reflect on what you've been taught. Is it really what you really feel, or is it just what you've been taught? So for me, I really started opening up and really looking at myself and taking all that garbage out of me, all of those distorted beliefs and perceptions. Really had to clear them out, and it's a never-ending process too. You look at people who are Christian, or like the KKK. They quote Jesus and carry around Bibles, and so this just doesn't make sense, to be racist and then back up your racism with the words of Jesus. I was raised with the education of Christianity, so I know the words of Jesus. It's pretty much, from what I remember, it's all about peacefulness and equality and accepting people, And then there's that whole thing about some of his years that he went to Tibet, I think. I don't know if all this stuff is true anyway. I don't really believe in it, but yeah, he went over there and he was hanging out with different races, and I don't think he was a white guy either. So it's a real trip how racism is still here in the country, and you got to hand it to Martin Luther King. He really had a lot of courage to go out there, even though he was getting death threats. He was still fighting for people's rights. He's a good man. Much love to him. It was cool. And yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. But you could always take advantage of the full moon. The night before the full moon is a real good night to do qigong, ritual, meditation, mantra. I recommend it. So if anybody wants the Vedic astrology reading, I'll leave the link on the bottom. And you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.